Well, welcome to the Okanagan Forest channel. I thought I'd make one video before I leave the cabin. I've been up here for a couple of days and I've been so busy I just haven't taken any pictures or anything. And I think that probably would be a point of criticism for everybody if I didn't have at least one video to show what I've been doing up here. But let's start by looking here in the Sarah reading room there. And there's a big, beautiful map of Washington State, and you can kind of zoom right in and kind of see basically right up there where that little dot is kind of where we are. This morning, about 4 o'clock in the morning, it started raining. And it started raining harder. And it started raining harder and harder and harder. Here I was trapped inside the cabin. Nice, warm and dry in my bag. Well, at 5:30 I got up and it was still raining just really hard. Here's the stove. You can see the stove and all of my kitchen's kind of messy right now because I haven't cleaned up completely. But you can see things there. But anyway, it was raining. And it rained. And it rained. And it rained some more. Now here's the water system that I've got set up right now, and I'm really very happy with it. I brought up 15 gallons of water, 3 of those jugs, and in the time I've been here, plenty of water to take a bath and everything, I've used 5 gallons. I've showed this before, but there is the part of the library, half of the library there, and it works pretty well. Down here on the floor, you can see a lot of blue bags, and these are full of firewood. This time of year, it's warm enough during the day that you don't need a fire, but in the morning and in the evening, boy, it's a welcome thing to feel that warm heat come out of the stove. And let's move back here a little bit farther to the stove area. Now the interesting thing, like I say, is it just kept raining. I've never in my life seen it rain so much and so hard here in the Okanagan Highlands. It just kept raining. And about 10:30, the rain changed to snow. Now this is May, first week of May. And the rain had changed to snow, and I thought, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. It's raining out there. But you see, I was in my cabin, and there's looking at the doorway with the plastic window. Now I have that big, it's about a 5 by 8 foot plastic window. And the door was on the bottom was closed, so I could see out and see the rain and listen to it and everything else. And it just kept raining, and then it started snowing. I set up my shortwave radio, you can see right here. And I listened to Brazil very briefly, but mostly I just picked up British Columbia radio channels from Vancouver, and then also the news channel from Seattle. But you can only get it at certain times, early in the morning and at late at night when you're not getting competition from the sun. Anyway, it's snowing. I think, for goodness sakes, it's actually snowing. I can't believe it. I'm very happy with the way I've got this kitchen set up now. It's kind of hard to see, I guess, but there's my 100-year-old skillet. And right behind the washcloth is the 100-year-old griddle that I have. And come looking up here, you can see the cups that I have and various things like that up here. I guess I probably don't need all of that up here, but it sure is comfy to come up here and have this stuff here and ready for you when you open the door. Here is where I keep some of the food stuffs. Keep dry goods in those buckets, and you can see some canned goods there. And you can see I really do like candle power. Candle power is a great thing, and the way I've got it set up here in the cabin, it works well for me. Go over here, you can see the family picture. And of course, that's a pipe hanging down there. There's no firing pin or bolt in that, so it's perfectly secure. And then we'll go back here, and this is the desk area. Kind of messy because I've been doing stuff here. Got my backpack there on the desk and various things, and some candy there, and various things you want to have when you're up here in the forest. There's a display that I have. That's kind of interesting. The center one is a bicentennial bronze or brass plate. The plate on the left is Okanagan. It's an antique Okanagan County plate. And then the one on the right is Lewis and Clark. And up above I have one I've had for many years, which I really do kind of like. And the other thing is that over the years, and of course these are all at secondhand stores, I have collected candle holders and candles. And I have lots of candle holders that you can see up on top there. Lots of candle holders. And they're kind of fun. And of course, very inexpensive. And if you're off the grid, candles are kind of a nice thing to have. Now, just take a look at that one candle holder right there. I've got 3 cases of those candles like that I brought from China in 2008. And I haven't even just barely scratched the surface on using those candles. Lots of good candles. So if we pivot around here again, kind of look down that way towards the kitchen and the fireplace. And I'm going to go ahead and turn all the way around here. And here's the tool room. You can see tools and various things there. Can't really see much, but anyway, so be it. And then this is really my area where I have my candles that I use regularly. Now that candle holder right there is particularly interesting to me. Those 4 candles, my mother years ago when she went to Sweden purchased that and had it for many years sitting next to her table, and then at some point gave it to me. But the nice thing about that set of 4 candles is it just makes wonderful light. It really does. Then of course up above you can see I have these electric lanterns that work pretty well. Well, let's go back into the bedroom. And it's pretty simple. Here is my company. Those 2 guys were given by Nai to my daughter, and they've been up here for a long time, along with the book that they're sitting on. They just keep the cabin company. It's a beautiful set of Raggedy Ann dolls that at a certain point seemed like this was a good place for them to stay. They've been safe up here, and they're just literally brand new. They're beautiful looking. And then, of course, my closet. You can kind of see I've got some coats and things like that. And place for shoes down below in a box. Nothing really fancy. There's my bunk. One thing I want to point out, there's Rin Tin Tin up on the other barrel there next to the lantern. But underneath that, there's a fireman hat, that white fireman hat. And I was looking at slides the other day and saw where my father had won a competition. He was a volunteer fireman. And that was his hat. So that's kind of neat to see and neat to have. Well, one of the purchases I got not too long ago is that big mirror. It's almost like a window, and you can kind of see me doing the video, but it makes the whole space in the cabin so much bigger and brighter. Let's go ahead and walk back here. You can see what time it is. There you go. It's already after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Pretty amazing. Well, I'm going to pivot. Well, I should say hello. Hello from the Okanagan Forest Channel. I'm happy to see you. Hope you're doing well. Now, I got to finish my story about it raining. So anyway, it was raining and raining and raining, and I couldn't believe it. About 10:30, it started to snow, and it snowed and it snowed and it snowed, and finally I had to clean out the fireplace, take the old ashes out and dispose of them. And in doing so, I filled up a bucket and took them out to the place where I take care of them. And I looked up, and would you believe the tops of the mountains all around the valley were covered in snow. The trees and the tops of the mountains were all white. So I was really literally just on the snow line, I guess, because it didn't stick here, but it sure did stick up there. Now what we're going to do now is, again, it stopped raining now, but it's been raining all day. So what we're going to do now is go back outside and take a look up on the hill and see if any of that white color can be seen in the video. So be patient with me while I go out the door. I'll try not to fall. There's my trusty Jeep. Well, looks to me like you can just barely see a little. Oh no, there's some white. See, that's now, all those trees up there were white earlier, and of course it didn't really stick. So let's just walk over here for a minute and see if we can take a look over at that other hill over here and see if there's snow over there that we can see. I can tell you, since it rained so hard, you can sure hear the streams, the creek down below is really going. Now I can look up there, the top of the hill over there, and still see snow. Let me see if I can get this camera to cooperate. There's snow up on top of that hill. A lot of it's excuse me, a lot of it's already melted, but that's what it looked like. Can you believe it? Snow in May. I can sure hear the stream down below. I don't know if you can hear it. One of the things I did yesterday was to trim some of the trees, and I've got some of the wood up here on the pad, and I will cut that up later and use it in the stove. Well, what else can I tell you about the Okanagan Forest Channel here? Things have been very quiet. You know, this is the period of the pandemic. And of course, we're right in the middle, or just coming to the end of the pandemic, the first period of it, when they've tried to flatten the curve, and they're just now starting to open things up a little bit. And the amazing thing is that there's been no cases, 0 cases in the Okanagan Highlands. And I honestly think driving up here, of course all I did was drive all the way up here, spent about 10 minutes at Walmart to get water, and then got fuel also, but again, very quickly, wore my mask and all that kind of stuff, followed all of the social distancing rules, and it's probably safer up here than almost any place you could want to be. I can tell you for sure it's safe, a lot safer up here than making multiple trips, multiple trips to the, to Costco or to the grocery store for cupcakes or whatever the case may be. There you can kind of see my door. That plywood slides over. And I've got a new roof. I put plastic on it last year, and boy, with that rain, I'm sure glad that I did that, because it kept everything nice and dry on the inside. Well, before I say goodbye, let's walk over and take a look at the outhouse. I guess it's still there. You know, the amazing thing is that it's really pleasant up here, but of course it's a cloudy day, so it's kind of gray. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but there's one of the residents right sitting on the step. There he is. That's a little pine squirrel, and he's waving his tail at us. Now, I'll tell you, the funny thing is that he likes to sit up there and eat his pine cones or whatever. And when I first show up, because this is his area, he barks at me and scolds me and everything else, and gets all upset with me because I've intruded on his space. Well, he's being kind of quiet right now. He's just sitting there looking at us. I'll walk over and see how long it takes him to jump. He's not moving yet. See if he'll talk to us. He's looking at me. There he is. Where's he going to go? He doesn't seem to want to talk to us. He sure likes to look around there. Hey, I want to go show people the outhouse and you're sitting on the step. Why don't you get out of the way, you silly guy? Yeah. Isn't he something? He says, this is where I live. What are you doing coming into my space? There he goes. There he goes up into the tree. He's not going very far. Whoops. There he goes. Now, I'll bet you what he's going to do. There you go. He'll get up on that bark and he'll start up on the limb and he'll start scolding me. What are you doing coming into my house? He really wants to make a lot of noise. Yes, he does. Well, we're going to ignore him, although he's not going to ignore us. There he goes. Yeah. And we'll go up here to the outhouse. Unfortunately, the lighting's not very good. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Squirrel. We're going to go in the outhouse and have a quick look. I don't fall off the step. Okay. So here's how the outhouse is set up. Let's get this so it's not quite so big. There we go. That's the window out of the outhouse. And I've got some literature in here on bears and cougars and maps and things like that. And it's set up with some reading material and so on and so forth. So it's got to be about the classiest outhouse in the neighborhood. That's for sure. Anyway, let's spin around here. I'm going to walk out just a little bit farther. I guess, oh, there he is. He's still sitting up there on the... He's still sitting up there on the branch. I guess you can't really see him, but he's still up there. Stop barking. But let's just walk out here a little bit. And again, it's kind of a gray day, but there's a look at, oh, there he goes. He's coming down out of the tree. He'll come down and scold me now. Yeah, there's another one, for goodness sakes. There's one over there too. See, there's two of them. There they go. I think they're being friendly. That's what they're doing. Yeah. They're just being friendly. Anyway, I want to say goodbye and turn this thing off, but before I do, I wanted to get a good shot of the Okanagan Forest Channel Camp. There you go. Well, if you're still watching, thank you for being patient with me. My camera skills are non-existent. I hope you have a beautiful day and enjoy your projects. This is the Okanagan Forest Channel.